Hello and welcome back to the Villa Filler podcast. It is the morning after the Crystal Palace game, and last night Aston Villa were linked with ISMALIA SARR. The report originally came from a guy at the name of Santi Awana on Twitter. He said that we were in for a 28 million euro bid. That included a 15% sell-on fee for Watford when we obviously would sell Sarr, and it's since come from both Mike McGrath and the man himself, Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio saying it's 25 million euros plus 3 million in add-ons. Either way, the noise that is coming out is that a deal has been agreed with Watford, and it's just down to personal terms negotiating between the club and the player. I didn't want to speak about this last night because I thought, first of all, I needed some time to simmer and to sit on the just general disgusting display that we saw yesterday. It really is that bad. And as you guys know, long-time listeners of the Villa Filler podcast and subscribers to Heart of the Holte would know, the Villa Filler is always glass half full. We're very optimistic, myself included, probably me more than Dan. I don't usually find, usually after the day after a defeat is kind of out of sight, out of mind. I've not been able to stop thinking about this. It was genuine. It was tragic yesterday. It was an absolutely tragic performance, a tragic tactical battle, if we can even call it that. Steven Gerrard hasn't got a clue. And I'm not sure that signing ISMALIA SARR solves any problems that Aston Villa currently have. I think it's fair to say that over the past few weeks, we've been, like yesterday, I mentioned in the preview the other day that I think that Villa should have, we wanted to see Buendia start, we wanted to see Coutinho dropped. And somebody in the comments yesterday was like, well, you can't complain because you got what you wanted. But that's the thing, like, I wanted that to happen and Gerrard did it. But the fact that Gerrard did it, it demonstrates to me that he doesn't know his best team. And that's quite alarming. And I think that the obvious issues in this side revolve predominantly around the midfield. I think the midfield yesterday made the defence look much worse than it actually was. There was so many shouts in the comments about Luca Dean's performance. I think you guys were absolutely right. But on the most part, I didn't think the centre-halves were awful. Didn't think Cashew was either. So it's strange to me that we've been linked with Sarr. And maybe it's, an opportunity has presented himself. I think we were when they played Watford, I think it was maybe the opening weekend of the Championship. Sarr lobbed the Baggies keeper. I can't remember who it is. It's West Brom, out of sight, out of mind. Them lot. I just know they're an absolute mess. And that was a fantastic goal. Rooney-esque almost from near the halfway line. It was a wonderful finish. And Sarr's someone who has taken to the Premier League and has proven that he is capable of scoring goals in the Premier League, albeit not that many. I think he's had, 2 stints in the Premier League now, 50 appearances, 10 goals and 8 assists for the winger. Whereas in the Championship, 42 appearances, 14 goals, 11 assists. I think if you look at the numbers, and again, you guys will know, I swear by FBref. I think it's fantastic. We've been using it for the longest time whenever we do transfer rumour mills, whenever we do analysis. It's really useful. You look at the numbers on FBref, it's absolutely stinking. Progressive carries, 5.9 per 90, not brilliant. Progressive passes, 2.03 per 90. Progressive passes received, 6.2. Again, that's not really something that he can help. That's a lot of these stats are made significantly worse by the fact he's played for Watford. And I think if you plop him into a much more progressive team, most top half teams in the Prem, you would see significantly better output from this guy. This guy's dropped masterclasses at Anfield. He's was it a hat trick he scored 2 or 3 seasons ago now? Absolutely electric, and he's torn us apart on multiple occasions. So, when you look at it holistically, Bertie's supposedly going to Besiktas somewhere in Turkey. Trez, we've got rid of him. He's gone to Turkey. Anwar's been frozen out. He's playing with the under-23s. Will hopefully be getting a move because, he needs to be playing football. He's better than the attacking options that we've lost. But the problem is we don't know our best team, right? We've still got to fit Buendia, Coutinho and Bailey in a side. And now we're going to add Sarr to this. And I'm all for squad depth. That is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, guys. This isn't the problem right now. I think the attackers we have, we can organise an attack with Coutinho, Buendia, Bailey, Watkins, or Ings. We can sort that out. That will click eventually, but the team will not improve until the midfield does, and that's the important thing for me. I think he's a great player. He is a great player. I think he has the potential to be a great player, I should say. And it is a bit of a mystery, that I'm sat here on the 21st of August and we're still talking about Sarr as a championship player. 2 years ago, he was linked to Liverpool. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in. Liverpool were, seriously considering making a bid for this guy. I think they may have been priced out. I think Watford wanted about 50 mil. So maybe that 25 million euros looks like a much more appetizing deal for Villa right now. But it's the 21st of August and nobody's come in for him or have made serious approaches for him. I find it a bit, there's just something going on at the club, guys. And I think if we fail to sign adequate defensive cover, and I'm not saying somebody who is as good as Diego Carlos, because we've already spent the best part of 30 million on him. When he comes in, when he's back and fully fit, he is the guy, right? And that's the difficulty. We've got to recruit somebody who, like, for the short term, adds to the competition, could potentially start. That's a really difficult thing to recruit for. But until we add a significant centre-half defensive cover and at least one number 8 who's going to come in and revamp that midfield and make us look significantly better, these just feel like vanity signings getting size. It seems like a bit of a luxury, if I can say. And we've seen him play both sides of the attack and even lead the line straight through the middle. So flexibility, yes, fantastic. Okay, that's great. Leon Bailey started the other day, played on the right. Where did he play? God knows. He was almost as a second striker, really, weren't he, at times? Him and Watkins were often making the same runs, but you've got Buendia, predominantly plays on the right, can play in the middle, but we haven't really seen it too much. We only really see that when we kind of make that change in game to a 2 up top like we did yesterday. Bailey can play on the left, doesn't really do it all that often, though. Coutinho can play on the left, can play in the middle. Significantly better output playing in the middle, in my opinion. It feels like square pegs, round holes, guys. I hate to poop on the parade. I really do. I think on his day he's a fantastic player, and I think he would make us better. But as I say, I feel like it's a bit of a vanity. So I'm looking at Lang and Purslow now, and seriously questioning if they're doing a better job than Suso and the guys before this. I'm really not. That's a debate. I'd love for you guys to have to debate this in the comments, because we've sold Jack Grealish and Carney Chukwuemeka, 2 academy prospects, for £120 million. We don't really have an incredible amount to show for that, do we, in terms of ingoings? The Grealish money that we spent on Buendia, on Bailey, on Ings, I think it's fair to say, overall, all 3 signings have been a disaster. And that's not to say that they're all bad players, because, as you guys know, I love all 3 of them. But for whatever reason, Buendia's not been able to get into the team. Ings hasn't had a fair run out. Bailey's been injured. All 3 fantastic players who I adore. I do, so don't get me twisted. But they all in retrospect, feel a bit knee-jerk. And I'm getting the same sort of vibe with ISMALIA Sarr. Will he make Villa better in the long run? Or will signing a competent midfield partner to anchor the midfield with Booba, will that make Villa better long term? I think, if anything, it just highlights the lack of direction and cohesion from the top down. Gerrard doesn't know what he's doing on and off the pitch. Langer is signing a player that, again, I'm not entirely sure I think he does improve you. It'd be stupid to not say that ISMALIA Sarr is not a good player, but it's not the player we need right now. He's not top of the priority, is the point I'm making. And you've got Purslow signing that off. The regime seriously needs to take a good, hard look at itself. Because Aston Villa Football Club are a joke right now. They really are. Guys, I'm going to leave you on that, because as you can see, as you guys can tell, I'm still quite clearly miffed about what happened against Palace. And I'm not sure that this is a signing that needs to be made. I'm more than happy to prove him wrong. I think he's a fantastic player. I'm more than happy for him to come and hit the ground running and solve all of the problems that we have. Just sign a bloody 8 Villa. Or play Sanson and Dougie. But what do I know? I'm just a guy who's podcast. So yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts on the signing in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. There's been so many new subscribers right now. And thank you everyone for the kind messages. Wish me happy birthday. You guys are the best. The content doesn't stop. There may be a preview for Bolton. I'm not really sure. There may be some reaction as well, but that will be the day after. I think Dan gets back on the Wednesday, so I'm not sure if Dan will see the game. So maybe riding solo again. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a video from us here at Heart of the Holte. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you give us a 5-star. That'd mean the world. Or the Villa.